Well, now to motorists who talk on the phone, speed or drink drive. A Current Affair has joined the forensic crash team, and tonight we'll show you the latest technology they're using to uncover what causes road tragedies and how they can be avoided.
I'm just lucky I'm here, really.
Good evening. In a terrible two-car smash, 5 young people have been killed on the M1.
Were the children in the back?
I believe so.
Lives lost in an instant on our roads. Their loved ones left heartbroken.
It'll always be in my head.
What's the first priority?
Saving lives.
Tonight, the Forensic Crash Unit walks us through these crash scenes, exposing how they were caused.
We do a lot of analysis using Newtonian physics, and we can often calculate speeds and do time and distance studies.
Plus, never-before-seen footage of shocking driving behaviour. And Thomas Bayer, the sole survivor of a tragic smash that killed 5 young people, shares his warning to drivers.
I don't think it would ever happen to me, but yeah, it can happen to anyone.
Here, emergency crews have swarmed. They're doing all they can to save a father and 3 children, trapped inside their car. This 4-wheel drive lost control, soared across the grass divider, took out a light pole and ploughed into the family car head-on. After an hour, a 12-year-old girl and her dad are eventually pulled to safety, but they're in serious conditions. Senior Sergeant Simon Lamerton runs the team of specialised police officers who analyse and collect data from these tragic events.
So this looks absolutely horrific here, Simon. Take us through what part did this car play?
Okay, this is the car that came through the centre island, we believe, and it's head-on collision. The fire brigade have cut the roof off to allow access to the driver.
Today, Senior Sergeant Lamerton's team is investigating what caused the driver to lose control.
We've got witnesses who we've got names and addresses, but our job over the next few days is to interview them and find out what they can tell us about this car driver's behaviour.
At this stage, speed, alcohol, drugs or using a mobile phone are all possibilities.
We take blood from the drivers at hospital, so we test for alcohol and drugs, and they're still a feature in many of our crashes.
Using high-tech equipment, these officers are able to determine what speed the drivers were travelling. Photographs are taken of every little detail at the scene, from the cars to debris.
We get questioned in court as to what they all mean, and what we've got to try and establish is an impact point, and then we can work speeds out.
Government highway footage also helps police determine who is at fault in a crash. They've given us exclusive access to this footage, and the driving behaviour is unbelievable. Watch here as this car goes to merge but smashes into a ute, causing highway hell. A similar incident, this vehicle merges into another lane, nicks the back of another vehicle and spins 180 degrees into traffic. A bus slips on the road, spins out of control, clipping a nearby motorist. And what about this vehicle, swerving, then slamming into the safety barrier before narrowly missing traffic and hitting another barrier? Some survive, others aren't as lucky, like Thomas Bayer's 4 friends. At just 16 years old, Thomas was involved in a tragic crash on the Gold Coast. It was Christmas Eve. Thomas was driving as a learner when the car broke down on the M1.
We pushed the car into, it was like almost hitting the guardrail, so it was like a good metre or something off the highway.
Nothing could prepare them for what was about to happen. A car came tearing down the motorway, lost control and smashed into the back of Thomas's parked car. It burst into flames and was sent 30 metres down the road.
I woke up sitting on the guardrail or right near the guardrail or something, and that's when people were around me telling me to lay down. And
what injuries did you suffer?
Burns to the legs and a head injury.
His 4 mates died, and so did the 18-year-old Brisbane driver of the other vehicle.
Supposedly our witness said that he was speeding past her.
A community went into mourning.
Hundreds of family and friends have gathered here to pay tribute, to honour these lives, but to also comfort each other.
And to this day, Thomas has never fully recovered.
Mentally and physically. Like, get tired easily. Sore legs from the burns and that.
At this dismal scene, a 24-year-old man has collided with a parked car, spun around and struck a tree.
The female passenger is aged about 21 and she has very serious head injuries.
Their car is completely crumpled.
A suspicion of inattention, so we'll investigate that fully.
But while the road toll is improving, numbers are still too high. 1,155 people were killed on our roads in 2014, 38 less than the year before. Yet in just 10 days over the Christmas period, 28 people were killed in crashes. In Sydney, days before Christmas, a crash at Marsden Park. The truck flipped after hitting a BMW. The truckie was pinned beneath the wreckage, rushed to hospital in a critical condition. Earlier, tragedy struck in Dromana, Victoria. Two young men, Adam Beardsmore and his mate Daniel Hay, died when their car veered off the road and smashed into a tree. Their families were shattered. Adam's funeral was days before Christmas.
I'm not only crying for my family, I'm crying for all his mates too.
48-year-old Nicholas George was charged with 2 counts of culpable driving. He's accused of smashing into the back of Adam and Daniel's car in the ute he was driving. But George is fighting the charges.
Are you sorry for what happened, Nicholas?
Of course I am. There was no road rage.
Was it a drag race?
No, there wasn't.
If you're not careful of what you're doing, whether speeding, alcohol, drugs, inattention, this sort of thing can happen.
It's a stupid decision or a moment of inattention that can change lives forever.
What warning do you have for drivers?
To be careful on the road. Always concentrate, that's the main thing.
It's an important story. You can't have enough reminders to drive safely.